Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone. My name is Nur. I'm Patricia. I am from section 33, DTE 0405. Today I'll be discussing on how age and gender shape media narratives and contribute to the marginalization and vulnerability of certain groups. First, we must recognize that the interaction of age and gender plays a significant role in determining which stories are told and how they're portrayed in media. This study examines media content over 3 distinct decades, 1994, 2004, and lastly 2014, to understand the patterns of this influence. We refer to the collective media stories circulating as the media buzz, which includes news, feature stories, fiction, and advertisements, all of which plays a crucial role in shaping our cultural perceptions. What's important to note is that media doesn't just reflect societal norms, it actively constructs and reinforces them. The portrayal of age and gender reinforces the stereotypes, especially around aging, which often marginalizes specific groups like older women and men. These portrayals have a real-world impact. They shape public attitudes, inform policy decisions, and even influence how individuals perceive themselves within these groups. The debate still continues around whether media has improved its portrayal of older individuals or if it still relies on stereotypical depictions. Ultimately, we need to understand the power media holds in either perpetuating or challenging these dynamics. This study highlights the urgent need for more equitable and nuanced representation of age and gender in the media. The goal here is to move towards a more inclusive portrayal that breaks away from stereotypes and reflects the true diversity of experiences. Now, I will be passing it on for my friend to explain about the articles.
Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Alisha and I'm from DTE 0405. And now, I'll be discussing the article titled Visibility Patterns of Gender Ageism in the Media Buzz. It is written by Maria Estrom. This study explores how gender and age intersect in established mainstream media over 3 decades. Maria Estrom's research focused on the concept of media buzz, which refers to the constant flow of visual representations we encounter daily through news, advertisement, and television. By analyzing media content from 1994, 2004, and 2014, she aims to reveal patterns of visibility that contribute to ageism, especially against older women. Maria Estrom highlights a significant disparity. While men and women are represented almost equally in numbers, older men are featured more prominently than older women. In fact, women aged 30 and over increasingly disappear from media narrative, reflecting a youth-centric ideal tied to appearance. Gender representation. The study reveals a gender division in representation. Women are often depicted in private roles like family life, while men dominate public spheres such as politics and business. Although there has been some improvement in visibility for a woman in career-focused magazine, men still occupy most authoritative positions. Stereotype. Maria identifies 4 key stereotypes in media representation. First, the fashion slave. It focuses on a young, slim woman. Second, the beauty slave links beauty to empowerment for younger women. Third, the executive features older men in leadership roles. Fourth, the love god or goddess emphasizes youthful sexuality while sidelining older individuals. The next is symbolic annihilation. A critical concept in this study is symbolic annihilation. This term refers to the underrepresentation of older women in media, which leads to their exclusion from shaping societal narrative. This exclusion has real-world consequences, limiting diverse voices in public discourse. Lastly, societal implication. Maria argues that media ageism reflects broader societal values that prioritize youth, with nearly a quarter of Sweden's population over 60. The absence of older individuals in media suggests their experiences and perspectives are undervalued, perpetuating stereotypes and marginalization. In conclusion, Edstrom's study highlights the systematic issue of ageism in media, particularly gendered ageism. It calls for a reevaluation of how older women are represented, advocating for a more inclusive media landscape that reflects diverse voices. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Norizaina Sabinti Hokanasi. Today I will discuss about multiple marginalization based on age, gender, ageism, and beyond, written by Simpicula, Nikenda, and Rizka. This chapter is part of the book Contemporary Perspectives on Ageism, published by Springer. Okay, it explores how age and gender combine to create unique challenges for older women. As you can see on the slide, those three people are the author. Okay, so the chapter focuses on gender ageism. This means that older women face discrimination, not just for being older, but also because of their gender. Okay, society often favors youth, making aging especially tough for women. This can impact their roles in the workplace and in society more broadly. Okay, so the key concept here is intersectionality. How age, gender, and other factors overlap to create more challenges for older women. Okay, the authors describe this as triple jeopardy. They also talk about doing age, which means age is shaped by how society sees and treats people, not just by years. Okay, so resistance and institutional challenges. Some older women resist these stereotypes through beauty routines or challenging ageist views, but this can sometimes backfire and reinforce the focus on youth. There are also institutional challenges like pension and retirement policies that make it harder for women who had to take time off for caregiving. In conclusion, the authors agree that we can address ageism without considering gender. Understanding how these factors overlap help us create better solutions and a fairer society for older people, especially women. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Kasialisha Christina Vitirahizat from DTE 0405, and I'll be continuing with 3.0, which is the discussion. The first article I'll be discussing is Maria Edstrom's Visibility Patterns of Gender Ageism in the Media Buzz. The article's fundamental point is that gender ageism in Swedish media has persisted throughout the last 2 decades. Older women are sidelined, but older men retain or even increase their visibility. Edstrom refers to this as the symbolic destruction of older women, in which the media removes them from public view. This promotes prejudices that associate women's youth and beauty, whereas older men continue to be visible and appreciated for different qualities. In the evidence and support, she backs up her claim with data gathered from 1994 to 2014 across a variety of media platforms, for example, television shows, news, and advertisements. Her findings reveal that women, particularly those over the age of 30, have a steep reduction in media visibility, but men of the same age remain represented. She also pointed out specific gender tropes in media, such as the beauty slave for women and the executive for males. Proceeding with the next slide, which is evaluation and significance of the same article, this slide talks about the strengths, limitations, and significance. Firstly, we will start with strengths. Edstrom's theory is well supported by her 20-year-old examination of the media ecosystem. She has great evidence here to support her claims. She includes both quantitative and qualitative data. It is a detailed study that clearly demonstrates how the media reinforces gendered ageism, giving support for her claims in the article. However, for limitations, the article study focuses on mostly Swedish media, which may not apply directly to other country or cultures. It is more close off instead of it broadening all aspects. However, this does not diminish the value of the findings. Understanding how the media affects society attitudes on aging and gender is critical for tackling these issues in a larger context. Moving on to the second article, which I'll talk about, is multiple marginalizations based on age, gendered ageism, and beyond. In this slide, I will go through central arguments and the evidence and support, again like the first article. This article is written by Krekula, Vikander, and Wilinska. This isn't just only from one author like the previous article. This article argues that ageism doesn't just happen on its own, it's connected to other things like gender, class, and race. The author focuses on gendered ageism, meaning that older women face more discrimination because of both their age and their gender. They also introduce the idea of doing age, which means that age isn't just about how old you are, but how society sees you or perceives you. They treat you based on your age. For example, they explain how pension systems are built around men's work patterns and how this can be unfair to women who took time off to care for their families, for example, maternity leave. They also talk about triple jeopardy, where age, gender, and appearance combine to make life even harder for older women, especially in a society that values youth and beauty. However, unlike Edstrom's article, this one doesn't use much real-world data. Instead, it focuses on theories to explain their ideas, which will proceed in the second slide. For the second slide, which is evaluation and comparison with article, just as before, includes strengths, limitations, and significance. Firstly, let's start with the strength. The strength of this article is its detailed explanation of how ageism is linked to other issues like gender and race. It also looks at how ageism affects not just older people, but younger people too, which is a broader view compared to the first article, which is Edstrom's article. It focuses more on media and older women compared to this second article. For limitations, however, this article doesn't use much data or actual examples, which makes it harder to understand or comprehend for readers who aren't familiar with these ideas, like mentioned before. In contrast, Edstrom's article provided strong, clear data to show how media represents older women, which makes her argument easier to follow. But overall, while Edstrom gave us real-world evidence of how media contributes to gendered ageism, Krekula and her co-authors help us understand how ageism connects to other forms of inequality. It is more inclusive about other views and issues. Both articles give us important insights into different sides of the story, showing us how complex ageism really is.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. I am Adlina Danya binti Muhammad Zaki from DTE 0405, and now I'll be conclude of the topic for our report. In conclusions, both articles contribute significantly to understanding gendered ageism. Mara Edstrom working highlights how Swedish media over 2 decades has marginalized older women, while older men maintain its visibility, emphasizing the media's role in tying women's value to youth and beauty. In contrast, Krekula, Vikander, and Wilinska offer a theoretical framework that examines ageism through intersections of gender, class, and race. Though lacking empirical examples, their approach deepens the understanding of ageism's complexities. Both pieces underscore the need for future research and policy change to address these societal inequalities and the erasure of older women.